NAHREP, we advocate for 3 primary policy areas: housing inventory, access to credit, and immigration. Our mission is to advance sustainable Hispanic homeownership because we believe it is the #1 way Latinos build wealth. But we're broader than that. We are an economic mobility organization.
As you guys know, housing inventory shortages continue to be our #1 barrier to advancing Hispanic homeownership. Put simply, we need to build more houses to keep up with demand.
We need to address the labor shortage that is driving up the cost of building houses. We do this through immigration reform.
We need zoning reform so we can build more houses and encourage cities to incentivize the building of more homes near job centers, homes for first-time home buyers.
We must include housing production in the infrastructure bill.
At the state and local level, we need to show up to our city council meetings and meet with our state legislators to urge them to champion zoning and land use reform. Make them rethink cities after COVID and rezone commercial zones for housing purposes.
Because it increases affordability for our Latinos, and that's what we need right now, more Latino homeownership.
I am passionate about housing inventory because homeownership is key to the economic development and well-being of our communities.
Everyone deserves a safe and secure place to call home.
Latinos are expected to account for 70% of new homeowners over the next 40 years.
Make lending easier for hardworking Latinos who seek to buy their first home and can afford homeownership.
Help them get access to a mortgage at an affordable price.
This year, we're going to continue to ensure that the Community Reinvestment Act does not get watered down. We want to defend the core values and principles of CRA that encourages more lending to first-time homebuyers as opposed to large investments such as bridges or stadiums.
We need to expand access to credit. We can't rely any longer on Appendix Q to determine ability to repay for self-employed borrowers or operate where DTI is a single determinant of a qualified mortgage. The CFPB ended up in a good place with its QM rule last year. The patch is not a long-term solution. At NAHREP, we support a more holistic, price-based approach to determining qualified mortgage or QM because it has the capacity to expand access to credit for the growing share of Latino borrowers.
We need a modification of the preferred stock purchase agreements or else it will hamper access to credit. We will urge FHFA to eliminate loan level price adjusters for loans that are covered by private mortgage insurance as they are an excessive penalty to lower income borrowers. Ensure the GSEs have a clear commitment to serve low to moderate wealth borrowers and provide affordable access to mortgages.
We need to expand access to down payment assistance programs, champion national down payment assistance programs for first-time homebuyers, particularly those that are first-generation homebuyers.
I believe it is fundamental to achieving the dream of homeownership.
There is no better way to building a path towards wealth than homeownership.
Access to credit springboards wealth building for not only all Latinos, but all first-generation homebuyers in America.
I am passionate because it allows Latinos the ability to buy a home and achieve their dreams of home ownership.
We need to pass a comprehensive immigration reform. This year is the year to do it. It's going to take all of us to put our granito de arena in order for us to get it done.
Immigration reform is critical to our nation's economic growth and to the supply of the labor force. We've seen immigrants through this pandemic keep our country going and keep our food supply going. Undocumented immigrants contribute $1 trillion to this country's GDP and support almost 20 million jobs in America.
As an immigrant myself from Tijuana, Mexico, I understand the struggles and the fear that a lot of immigrant families are currently living today.
Because I believe that as a country, we're better than a nation that creates an entire second class of people that do not have full access to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I believe we're better than that.
And lastly, we need to ensure that Latinos have an equitable recovery from the pandemic.
Latinos have been disproportionately impacted by the pandemic.
If we are looking ahead to future homeownership growth and closing the wealth gap, we have to continue to ensure that Latino recovery is equitable.
Particularly because we know that Latinos will play a very important role in our nation's revitalization.
I'm very passionate about our Latinos bouncing back from the pandemic. Why? Because last recession, they didn't have that help. But now, with NAHREP's education and programs, we can definitely make it happen.
So let's help Latinos bounce back from this pandemic, and let's continue with our goal of helping Latinos triple their wealth. And advancing homeownership is one way we're going to get there. Sí se puede.
We are
the National Advocacy Committee. We are the voice of the NAHREP. We advocate for the American dream.